Hi everybody. I want to go over week 8 assignments with you to explain a little more what you should do. So the first item on your list of things to do is to check my feedback on your Unit 2 database exploration assignment. That is the final assignment in Unit 2, but part of that assignment was finding an article that you will be using in Unit 3. So look over my feedback on that final assignment, but especially look to make sure that the article you chose was approved. The second item is to complete the Unit 2 student survey. So the database exploration completes Unit 2. We would like you to take just a few moments to go into that survey, answer a few questions just based on Unit 2. We really appreciate your feedback. The next item is to do some reading. This is very crucial information for you to understand what is going on in Unit 3. So read about what a summary response essay is, the difference between critical reading and critical thinking, what is an argument, evidence and how to evaluate it, and counter-argument. There is on the schedule for this week another reading in the Unit 3 learning materials on worldview and bias, but you can skip that one for now if you'd like. There's a lot of reading this week. You will need this information in Unit 4, so we'll come back to it then. All right, the graded activity for this week is the Unit 3 argument breakdown worksheet. And for Unit 3, we're going to be focusing on the writing process to write a summary response essay. This will be in response to an epidemic of loneliness. So the first step is to analyze the article that you are responding to. So the link here will take you directly to that document. If you are having trouble typing on the document, you can put the same information on your own document. Either way is fine. So you are going to fill out this information. Actually, I've already filled this out. I should take this off, but you are focusing on an epidemic of loneliness, and the author is a little different for this kind of article. It's called The Weak Staff, so you can see how that is listed. All right, looking over the article, you want to find one claim. Now, claim is the same as argument. So when you do your reading on argument, claim and argument are synonymous. So what is one argument that is being made, or one claim that is being made in an epidemic of loneliness? And you'll write that down here. Please make sure it's an argument or a claim, not a piece of evidence. All right, and then you're going to look at the tone. So all of these concepts, these words, you need to distinguish what they mean. So what is the tone that is being used to make that claim? And please do not use any of the purpose words. I don't want you to say it's an informational tone. Information is a purpose. Even though you can argue that that is also a tone word, I don't want you to use a purpose word when I'm asking you for tone. That way I know you know the difference between those terms. So use a different adjective. Was it angry about the issue? Was it pleading? Was it very neutral? Was it concerned? You know, think of the feeling that comes through when you read that claim. And then who is the target audience for the argument? And don't just say people or readers. Be a little more specific than that. Who would be interested in this article, this claim? All right, then you're going to go on to find 2 reasons to support the argument or claim. And a reason is basically synonymous with evidence. So that might clarify things a little bit for you. So we're looking for a very specific piece of evidence to support the claim that you list above. You may quote it if you'd like. So you can copy it exactly and put quotation marks around it and a paragraph number, or you can paraphrase it. But remember, I don't want a general statement. I want a specific piece of evidence. So you'll write that down here, and then you're going to identify the type of evidence that you just wrote down. So remember, when it says what type of evidence is used, that is referring to the specific reason number one that you just wrote down. So is this piece of evidence a fact? Is it a personal experience? Is it a hypothetical situation? Is it a statistic? And you'll write that down. You must have one type. Some of them do overlap. And if that's the case, you can list more than one, but one is sufficient. And you'll do this again. Find a second piece of evidence that supports the claim. And write that down here. If you do copy from the article, please make sure you put quotation marks and you copy accurately and provide the paragraph number. And looking at that second reason, what type of evidence is it? So you'll identify whether that is a fact or a statistic or an expert opinion or whatever it might be. Again, all of this information on evidence comes from your reading. All right, and the last part is to find a counter argument. Now it says what counter argument is presented. And I will tell you right now, in an epidemic of loneliness, the authors do not identify a counter argument. So you will have to figure out what might be a counter argument to this article. This will be a little challenging because you can't say, loneliness is not a problem or loneliness is not bad, or some people like to be lonely, because nobody wants to be lonely. So think a little more deeply. What might be a different perspective on the issue? Maybe look at what the article is lacking, maybe what it's not talking about, and see what you can come up with. As long as you're coming up with something that could be considered an opposing viewpoint, you will get full credit. But if you just say the opposite of the claim for the original article, that's probably not going to work, because loneliness by definition is not good. All right, and then it says, did the author refute it? If so, how? Probably you're not going to see this article refute a particular counterclaim, but please don't leave this blank. Please state that the author did not address this position in the article. And that's it for the document. When you're done, the link is here for you to submit your document. And of course, this is due by the end of the week, as it usually is. If you have any questions, please let me know.